promoting public support for human rights, promoting respect for human rights and among individuals and corporations, obtaining redress for the victims of human rights abuse, relieving need among the victims of human rights abuse. SYR's future plans are to establish human rights and promote forced marriage as a global unit, also to unite organisations and countries to work together. There are already few countries which are participating and giving their support by our organisation.
Thank you for your kind or support to us. All I can say, maybe we need to do more. I would like to congratulate Ashok Ahmed. Recently he's the 1ed.wmv. Ashok Ahmed.
Kidnapping, violence, physical violence, threatening, coercion, stealing passport, all kinds of abuses take place, and those things definitely are criminal offences. And now that the civil act is there, which doesn't really per se tells us that forced marriage is a criminal offence, but lots of things together within the forced marriage can make it a criminal act in various aspects of it. But how many people who are actually committing these kinds of things know that? I ask you this question. How many people who are perpetrating forced marriage know that they are breaking the law of this country?
Certainly there are instances in all societies, and Islamic society is not exempt, without exception. It is going through times, and it has been going through times when people take religion and they abuse it. When they take a culture and they abuse it. Lack of knowledge of a religion is what causes these misunderstandings and brings about chaos and anarchy for people. Heartache for families, for children that are also casualties of that marriage. So forced marriages is a very profound subject close to my heart, which I want no two people to go through ever. And that is only because I'm a Muslim and my faith dictates that. It gives right to the woman and to the man from the very beginning, first and foremost to the woman.
The thing is, in Shakespearean time, the condemnation was there. What the hell are we doing here in the 21st century? Can we not together condemn this abuse from happening and see what the impact of this on people? Because all these good people who are here, they're here because they hate it. They don't want to accept it. Raise your voice together and you can do it.
If somebody gets married in Pakistan, the forced marriage has happened in Pakistan. It was conspired against here, but it's happened in Pakistan. That's under a different jurisdiction. I'm just giving Pakistan as an example. It can be India, it can be anywhere. It happened in Pakistan. It's a different jurisdiction. What can the British law do for them?
If there's some kind of conspiracy here to take you out of the country, and we've got to remember that actually forcing someone into a marriage is not a criminal offence, but if we could prove, for example, that there was the agreement here between several people to kidnap someone or to imprison them and take them abroad that way, then we could actually prosecute for certain offences if we could prove that there was the agreement here.
Man ra'a minkum munkaran, whoever of you sees evil, falyughayyirhu biyadihi, change it with your ability, with your power, with your authority, with your hand. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, if you cannot do that for one reason or other, فَبِلِسَانِ, then you speak out against it. You speak out against it and you talk to other people, or talk to other people who will speak out against it. فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ, if you can't even do that, فَبِالْقَلْبِ, then at least in your heart you should know that that was wrong. And this person should not have done this person should not have done this to me, to this, Tom, Dick or Harry. It will take time to eradicate evil from amongst us, from within us and without us, but we should not fear of doing the right thing at the right time, by the right means, to the right people. May the Lord guide us to the right way.
You know, the local communities, maybe even see if you can get like the imams to go into the schools or at the mosques and stuff to tell them more, because as sort of a Western person standing up and saying that, you just don't feel like you're going to have a lot of influence, and you also don't feel confident that you're not treading on territory that you and upsetting people. They don't want loads of parents writing into schools and complaining and you're interfering in our religion and our culture. So I think it is important that I understand that it is hard for the schools, as well. It's a sensitive issue.
The people know, the young people or whoever or sometimes the parents feel as well. If the the girls ran away, where are they going to go? And why the girls run? This kind of thing we need to have somewhere a central point where there is a support structure available.
For me, it's a very slow process on helping, because people have, I think, wanted support for years ago, and for some reason, you don't really see much sort of agencies of support out there for these people. And my sort of question, probably for the panel, is: has the number of cases of forced marriages in your research been increasing or decreasing? And also, what sort of strategies are you, in Buckinghamshire, are you going to introduce to try to reduce it?
I mean, so far, if there has been any issues, we work closely with the police, we work closely with social services and the immigration. We've got our local MP who supports us in any area that we need to be tackling.
We would like to really find a way to give them the voice, and that is the prevention that I have been talking about throughout today, that we have to have preventative measures, educating people so that this doesn't happen, so that people who are not really confident enough to come forward and seek help can also be helped. And if that educational program is not done, then on the one side of the coin, you will be able to see that is just reacting to those people who are coming for help and ignoring those people who are the vast majority who are suffering in silence.
That the children also need to develop a communication with their father. I think in many cases they probably feel more comfortable, but they need to find the inner strength to talk to their father, because sometimes it's that lack of communication that is missing. So I think there should be some more centres or something available, because I think that's what the Asian, probably more females in Aylesbury do lacking. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for them to go anywhere to openly talk or discuss any issues.
And it's sad to see this campaign is set up. I've been in Aylesbury for the last 40 years. I must say I was surprised that this thing is happening in Aylesbury, because knowledge of Aylesbury, I must say that if it does happen, it's happening in very minority. And those minority who haven't knows about it, whether it's local authority or social services, and they all put lid on it. It doesn't come out to community, it doesn't come up to people like us, it doesn't come up to imams very openly that this issue is in Aylesbury.
And you are very lucky that you've got a very good relationship with your daughters. And I hope there are more dads like you in this town, because they are not. You are one in God knows how many, and I know that. I know, how close you are with your daughters, but there are many men who are not. And believe me, I don't joke about things. Thank you.
When it comes to forced marriage, it's not always your mother that's forcing you. She's very sympathetic. She doesn't want her children to be forcibly married and so on. I've noticed it's more so the fathers because of certain traditions and everything. I mean, what I wanted to ask Imam Dian, is there any possible way, because I have not seen any fathers come today, to be honest, is there any possible way where the mosque or any Islamic institute can educate our fathers? Because our mothers are, if anything, quite scared to go against their decision.
And I'm also at pains at telling the young men coming to me and the young women coming to me complaining of forced marriages. I tell them, your parents have done a lot for you in terms of financial support. It may be emotional support too. That does not mean that you should give in your rights. That is part of their duty. And as part of the duty of the imam, the leader of the community, he is one who guides them. The core imam's duty is to bring about a safe and secure environment for each to look at one another with respect and honor, and bring about cohesion and understanding. For the men, yes, mostly will be at the mosque. For the women, there are public address systems where they can understand their religion and their rights at home. But that shouldn't be solely it. Just as the men have equal right to the mosque, so do women have that too. Again, social bounds and social restriction and domestic situation forces a woman to stay at home looking after the children while